So you have to be careful about who you copy or who you mimic. I once heard this story, and this was about a pizza chain, like a chain of pizza stores or pizza restaurants, and how a big company came in and bought them out, and then they started making all these crazy changes, and they eventually went out of business. They went bankrupt. And if you looked at them, like, a lot of the things they did made absolutely no sense whatsoever. But what happened was, I think it was Pepsi was the company that bought them. And Pepsi, basically, they bought them just to go in and be able to test what it was like to serve their soft drinks from a pizza restaurant. And so if someone was watching what they were doing and trying to mimic what they were doing or copy what they were doing, thinking that they were trying to maximize pizza sales or restaurant store sales, then, well, they would make all kinds of mistakes, because this company, what they were they were just testing. They didn't care. I mean, the size of the company of Pepsi was so large that whether they made or lost money, whether this restaurant chain went out of business, made absolutely no difference whatsoever to them. They were after the information, the testing, the results they would get. And so I know, like, in our world, I've heard about people like looking at other folks and looking at what they're doing and just assuming that what they're doing is working, or there's good rational thought behind it, when first you don't know what the numbers are, you don't know how successful they are, and you don't know why they're doing it. They could have an offer that's just setting up a different offer. They could have an offer that's just positioning a different offer. They could just be simply testing something. They could be looking for experience in the market. So I know in my business, we're always testing stuff. Just because you see me doing something doesn't necessarily mean A, that it works, and B, that it's a good idea. I could be doing it for a completely different reason than maximizing sales or maximizing whatever you would be looking to maximize in your business. So just be really careful about looking, just because someone appears to have their act together, they've got a nice looking website, they have a nice looking sales page, they have a good looking video, don't assume that it's successful, and don't even assume that they are going after the same thing you're going after. I guess with the position I have in the market, a lot of people are looking at what I do and they just assume that I've got some magical Midas touch and everything I do is going to work out great and they should copy everything I do. No, we're testing nonstop. I mean, that's part of my job, is to test, to innovate, figure out what works, and then I teach it from that standpoint. So be very, very careful who you're copying and who you're mimicking in your business and your marketing. So I'm Jeff Walker. Wherever you're watching this, scroll down, leave a comment for me, and let's go get them this week.